Fredrick Wilson, and I am he. And of course, my co-host here is
Kathy Taylor.
All right, we're coming to you tonight. We just got finished with our Monday show, and we had a great guest on. His name was Derek Hankerson, and he's been on the show before. He's normally on there as a historian or talking about the black diaspora and things of that nature, because Derek is a historian. He's been working in politics a number of times. He also ran for office last year. And this time he came on as a supporter for Donald Trump. And his purpose was to actually bring light to us, if you will, Donald Trump's viewpoints and the reason why he believes that Donald Trump should be the president of the United States. Now, Derek, his role, let me make sure I get it right. He is a volunteer Florida Northeast Regional Director for Trump for President. So he's in a position in which he's making decisions right here in Northeast Florida. And again, he said he's in the grassroots efforts. He's knocking on doors. He's making phone calls. He's doing interviews, going on radio and different things to make everybody aware of what Trump's stances are. Now, on the show, again, the show only lasts an hour, and that's the purpose of what we're doing here, the after-hour show. But on the show, there were a couple of things that were said that we didn't get clear. And Kathy has a couple of things that she wants to get clear, and that's the purpose of the show. So for tonight, so we're definitely going to give time for that. But before we do that, we need to talk about the actual Let's Talk Politics show that we want you guys to tune in to every Monday. And again, it's the show's called what, Kathy?
Let's Talk Politics with Fredrick Wilson.
All right, it's on what days?
Mondays from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m.
And it's on Blog Talk Radio, is it?
Blog Talk Radio, Survive 365.
There you go. And what's the call number?
917-932-1078.
All right. So if you want to speak, you just press the 1 button. But otherwise, just dial the number 917-932-1078. Put it on a speakerphone, set it down, and get out pad and pencil sometimes. So we do say some things that we encourage you, always encourage you to do your own homework, right? Always encourage you to do your own homework. So that's just a show. We talk about politics, everything, politics, social issues, and everything in between. Sometimes we make some jokes. You laugh, so you're already laughing at me. Sometimes you just have to get ignorant on the show.
Exactly.
We haven't gotten ignorant yet. Well, I had before you started coming on the show. I should post some of those, you think?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that. It might make you mad, but I will. But of course, it's a family show.
Yeah.
So you want to give the warning, or do I?
Let's do it together. No bad language. Why?
Well, because this is a family show. We want kids to be involved, and we don't want to turn them off or have parents feel a little funny about having their kids listen to some foul language.
But if you do use bad language, we're going to
hang up on you.
And then we're going to talk about you
like a dog. We're going to talk about you. And shout out to all the mothers. Happy Mother's Day. That was yesterday. And we're probably going to talk about your mama too if you call around this time, just because it's Mother's Day, And you're not going to be on the phone, so you won't be able to say anything. There'll be no recourse for you. So the best thing to do is what? Don't use bad language. Speak your piece. Find the right words. You can still be just as persuasive without using bad language. And that's what we want to do. We want the kids to be involved. We want them to get acclimated to talking about these issues, politics, social issues, bringing awareness, open up their young minds, their young eyes to what's going on in the world, so we can try and make this thing better. So that's our disclaimer, and we definitely will. I mean, for Mother's Day, we're going to talk about you. I'm in that kind of mood tonight, and I'm being serious though, for real. I do. Okay, just checking. All right, so what happened? Let's talk about the show tonight. Well, again, Derek Hankerson was the man. And again, he was a Northeast Florida director for Trump for President. He's a volunteer, and he came on the show.
He did come on the show.
All right, so one of the things that he talked about was Trump's success in business.
Right, so when the show opened up, you basically asked him, what were the reasons why why he supported Trump.
Right.
And one of them was he felt like because he had been able to keep his family business going for so long, that was one of his things. He also said because of his family. He also said because his campaign, he basically was paying for his own
campaign.
So those were his three main reasons.
Yeah, you can trust what he said, too.
Oh, you can trust what he said.
He can't be bought. So that's what it is. He can't be bought because he is funding his own business. And and Kathy was just grumbling and all that, and she didn't agree that the Which one you want to start? You go ahead.
Okay, so let's start with the self-funded campaign.
Okay.
Trump has made a big deal out of saying how he has self-funded his campaign and how he can't be bought because he's paying for his own campaign. What he has neglected to tell people is he actually is loaning his campaign the money, which means he's going to get the money back, or he has the potential to get the money back.
Wait a minute. Wait. So what's the big deal with that? Because other people have done it. I know Mitt Romney's done that, and other people's loan the campaign money. So what's the big deal?
And that's fine.
And Derek said he loaned himself some money.
He did. But if you say, I'm loaning my campaign the money, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But when you're saying you're self-funded, you're making people believe that you are just donating this money to your campaign. And if he was going to just donate the money to the campaign, he would have wrote a personal check instead of loaning the campaign the money.
So yeah, from our research, if you write your campaign a check, then you can't get the money back. But if you put it in the form of a loan, then you can get the money back if the money's there and if you want to take it. So you don't have to, but you can.
Right.
So the potential's there to get your money back. But it was a done deal. You weren't trying to get it back. You could just wrote a check. And then that would eliminate people like you and I looking this up and saying, why'd you leave that door open if you didn't want to get your money back?
Exactly. And again, if he wanted to loan his campaign the money, I don't have a problem with that if you're being honest. But you're trying to make people believe that you just gave that money up from your personal account. You're not getting it back. I'm just doing this because, I have the goodness in my heart. No, you're loaning yourself the money.
Okay.
Not the same thing.
All right.
So I brought this up, and Derek, I'm not sure if he didn't know that or he wondered about my proof.
Right.
So we're going to go ahead and show you the information. Again, as I say, and as we say every week, do your research. We don't talk about stuff that we haven't looked up first.
Right.
We're not just, getting it off of anywhere. We've already researched this information before we bring it up.
We're not just making this stuff up?
No, we don't make it up. We always come through with our facts.
I like that. All right, let's take a look and see what we're doing. Is Donald Trump really self-funding his presidential election? Well, let's take a look and see what it says. This is on Sunlight Foundation, but you can do it. We found out a couple other ones.
We did. We found it on
the USA Today?
USA Today. It was also on NBC too.
NBC too. All right.
So it's a couple of different places. The reason why we chose this one only because it was a little bit more up to date. It was more recent. Okay. But he really started loaning himself his campaign money back in at the end of 2015. In the last 3 months of 2015, he loaned his campaign $10 million. So right now, as of February, he has poured in about $17.7 million of his own money.
That's it right there. Ooh, $17 million of own money. That's over 70% of the $25.5 million his campaign has raised over the entire cycle. Nearly all of that $17.5 million came in from loans. Meanwhile, none of the other candidates have loaned their campaign as much as a dime. On top of that, he supplied over $250,000 worth of in-kind contributions, such as rent and payroll, to his committee. As a business owner, I know that when you get in-kind donations, you write that off. Okay, that's a tax write-off.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one of the other things he does too is he does meetings and stuff at the facilities that he owns, and then he can pay himself out of that too.
Right, but so that's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing if you're honest about what you're doing.
That's business.
Okay.
He said he's a good businessman.
Yeah, and we're gonna get into the business part too. But the whole point is, again, there's nothing illegal about what he's doing. It is just being completely open about what you're doing, like being, transparent. If you're loaning your campaign the money, it's fine. Just tell everybody you're loaning the campaign the money. Don't make it seem like you're just writing a check.
Right. All right. So I guess we got that. You guys can take a look at that. You see the website up there in front of us. So Kathy says that Donald Trump is not being honest per se or forthcoming. What he's doing is legal, but according to Kathy, he's making it seem like he's just stroking this check. It is no big deal. He's not going to get it back. Yet he left the door open to get it back. And she thinks it's disingenuous was the word you used.
That's what I said.
Okay. All right. And Derek had some pushback on that. He was like, hey, I didn't know about it. I haven't heard about it. And since I don't know about it, I'm not going to speak on it. So we will tag Derek in this and other people as well. So here we are and speaking on it. What else would you?
One of the other things that came up was how successful he is as a businessman.
Donald Trump is successful as a businessman.
Okay.
I mean, can you dispute the Trump towers?
The fact that he doesn't own those towers, he sells the thing to put on there.
Still business.
It is business.
Still business.
But he's also had a lot of failed businesses.
He did?
Yes. Can you go buy a Trump steak?
No.
You get Trump ice?
No.
Okay. How about Trump magazine?
No.
Really?
What about Trump real estate?
No. Trump mortgage company?
No.
Trump.com?
No.
Trump, yeah. So the Trump game?
No.
Okay, so he's had a lot of failed businesses, and we're going to quickly show you. And again, we're just trying to make a quick video, but we want you to look this information up yourself. He's had some failures. Yes, he's a millionaire. And no, excuse me, I'm sorry. I don't want to be sued. He's a billionaire.
Is he?
That's what he said. He sued somebody for saying he was in the millions.
But the lawsuit was thrown out.
But he sued somebody.
He did sue somebody. I can sue anybody, but it was
but I don't want to be sued.
Oh,
because I said million, so we're gonna go on and give him the
Well, put a Z on it, dude. He's a zillionaire. I'm just saying if that's the case. All right, let's take a look. Yeah, you go laughing again. I'm just saying, let's get on with it. Let's see, Trump's biggest. Now, one thing too, as a business owner, dealing with other businesses and talking to people at businesses, a lot of people have failed in business, though.
Yeah.
You look at Sam Walton failed with business before he started Walmart. Thomas Edison, he failed. I think he 1,000 times or 5,000 times, some crazy number, which he tried to figure out the right combination to make the light bulb.
Exactly. Even the guy who started and I can't think of his name right now. The guy who started FedEx went bankrupt 4 times before he got it right. That's not my point. My point is, if you're selling yourself as somebody who never loses, and I'm great at business. That's what I know better than anything else.
Then
you probably shouldn't have all these failed businesses.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I think he'd be better served to say, look, I'm good at business because I failed and I've learned from each failure.
There you go.
And if you can count the number of failures, you can be like, oh, this joker's got to be good. Plus, I got money. I'm rich. So I failed a lot, but I must be doing something right. And I'm telling you from my experiences in business, you can trust that I've learned something and I know how to apply it. Who else running for office can say that they've even attempted as many things as I've done? They've even jumped into different markets that I've done. They've even made the right connections with business people and had the opportunity to learn what I've learned. The people that's running against me can say they've been sitting in office in the Senate. Hillary's been in the Senate forever. What business has she started? Same thing with Sanders. He's a socialist. He couldn't start a business. He ain't trying to do that. What has he done? So that's a way he could have spun it, but he didn't. He's come across as he's Donald J. Trump, and he doesn't make any mistakes and everything. He's just a winner all the time. And it does seem disingenuous if you're going to say that when you look it up. It's like, no, you're not.
Exactly. Because you look at it and you're like, well, what happened to Trump Airlines? Trump Beverages? Trump Casinos?
Trump Magazine, Trump Mortgage, Trump Those Good Steaks. That's a commercial. We're not going to play that. Trump Travel Site, Trump Comms Company, Trump Tower Tampa.
Trump University, which he's still.
And it's getting sued for that.
Yeah, it's getting sued for that one. Trump Vodka.
Trump Vodka. Lost future earnings from calling. Oh, that's something else. Mexican rapist. That's another. That's the future earnings.
That's a future. Yeah, you can't go.
That's somebody speculating on that. And he didn't call all Mexican rapists. He said, now let's get that clear too. That's one thing that ticks me off. Now I'm not a Trump supporter, but I do want the truth to be told so we can all make educated decisions. He did not call all Mexican rapists. If you look at the video, he said they don't send their best. He said they send people over here. He said they send their rapists. He said they send basically bad people. He said, I'm not doubting that some of them are okay, are good people, but he didn't say they all were. And if you look historically speaking, that's what countries have done. They send their crap. Cuba's known to do that. Other places are known to do that as well. You have people that you don't want that are destruction of society. You have people that are drug dealers, people that will destroy your community. Hey, we'll send them somewhere that we don't have to deal with anymore. Cuba's known to send them to America. If all those guys coming from Mexico and that's another thing too. Just because you come through the Mexican border, don't make you Mexican.
No, it does not.
No, anybody come to the Mexican border, all you got to go to Mexico and come up. All of a sudden you're a Mexican now. No, you got people from Central America. You got people that will come over there because the border is so lax, because they can get through the border. They'll go to Mexico, go through South America. People from different countries, they think that terrorists are coming in that way.
They're coming from Canada too.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, so we're talking about Mexicans now. But Canada's a big, wide open place too. It's just too much land to cover. But so don't think when I hope he's not saying that everybody that comes through Mexico is a Mexican.
No.
And again, you can't tell a Mexican from a Honduran just because you look at them. It's just 100 miles away. Like saying you can tell a Floridian from a North Carolina. No, you can't. That's just dumb. But the truth was, he said that they do sin their worst, and some of them are terrible people. Some of them are. You can't deny that. We've had Mexicans that are put in jail for murder right here, illegal aliens. So you can't say they all the best Mexicans come. So dispel with that. If you don't like what he said, be mad at the truth that he told. Don't be mad at the lie somebody told about him. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right, because he gives us plenty to be mad at without making a lie. And then when you got to lie about the man, that's why people saying, well, if he's so bad, why you lied about him? Just let him be. You agree with that?
Sure.
Yeah, so she'll agree. But anyway, let's keep going. What else you got?
So one of the other things he said was that Trump was a family man.
What's wrong with that?
He said that, that was one of the things he looked at is he looked at his family.
He looked at his daughter.
He was saying that, what was it, during a press conference or something, he stopped what he was doing to help his daughter with homework, and he just looked at that and said, who else would do that? A lot of people.
A lot of people help their kids with homework. You have your kids homework?
Yes.
Okay.
My problem is he maybe cut out some stuff, maybe some of the other comments he's made about his daughters.
Like what?
Like if Ivanka wasn't his daughter, he would be dating her.
Yeah. Ew.
That's disgusting. That's just gross.
That's kind of nasty.
It ain't kind of nasty. That's disgusting.
You tell me all guys don't look at their daughter and be like, ooh,
yes, I'm
you're
telling
hot.
you that. And if you do, that's disgusting.
Ooh, you're hot.
There's something wrong with your head.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow. But Trump did. He said his daughter was hot.
He did.
But again, are those the issues?
That is the issue. That's disgusting.
Would that keep you from voting for him?
Oh, there's a whole bunch of reasons why I'm never gonna vote for him, but
okay, so that's just something else that you.
but
okay.
That's disgusting.
Okay, all right. What else you got?
So
those are said on the thing.
Those were the things he said. So then there are some other issues I have. And you kind of brought this up, was the targeting of women and kind of his stance on women.
Oh yeah. Oh, we gotta tell you about that. You guys went to tune in. I asked Derek about how can Trump get people to vote for him. If he wins the nomination, he's going to run against either Hillary or Bernie. Both of them are very powerful. Both of them are going to have a lot of support. And even there's rumors about them two joining together. So that could be, as I was saying on the radio show, a perfect storm. It'd be very difficult to overcome that. And I was saying some of the things that Trump has said, how can we expect Trump to be able to unify the country and get votes with the things he said about women? And some of the things he said, he told one lady when on The Apprentice, he said she would look good on her knees. He told her, he talked about Carla Fiorina, talking about she's ugly. He talked about Ted Cruz's wife said she was ugly. He talked about Megyn Kelly, talking about how her attitude and she was bleeding from somewhere. And Derek's response was, Trump could have been meaning anything when he said bleeding from somewhere. It could have been her nose.
Okay.
And we both said, no. come on, let's be real. You talking about a woman bleeding from somewhere, you talking about her attitude and all the things. We all know what you're saying. So,
but he said because people's mind were in the gutter is why we thought that. But no, we knew exactly what he was saying.
Okay, maybe my mind was in the gutter, but a whole lot of people's minds were in the gutter. So that's what we think.
So we say you're bleeding from somewhere, and your attitude is messed up. So we're talking about a bloody nose.
Of course, when you have a bloody nose, that's when women act up when their nose gets bloody. Okay. Yeah. Because your nose bleeds a lot, right? Yeah. Yeah. Women nose bleeds, and it's so often that we attest that to acting up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Nah.
Okay. What else we got?
All right. So the other thing that we wanted to talk about was how Trump, now as a presumptive nominee, is going to be able to unify the party. So there are a lot of Republicans who have basically come out, through the primary process and been like, no, we're not going to endorse him, or they're just not ready to give him the okay, I guess.
Who said that first? Who said that?
The first person to say, or the
most recent person to say that? The big wig that said, I'm not ready to endorse Trump. Who's
Paul
that?
Ryan.
Who's Paul Ryan? He was speaking, yes.
No.
I mean, Paul Ryan spoke. Oh, you mean Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan? You are so silly. You got issues. Okay, Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan said that. I thought it was Paul Ryan was speaking. He was. All right. So now, is he a powerful person?
He is.
Tell me about the Speaker of the House.
Okay, technically, and I think people need to understand this, is right now until the actual until Trump, we're gonna just assume it's Trump, is actually considered the nominee.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Ryan is the leader of the Republican Party. A lot of people don't realize that, but the Speaker of the House is in charge of, while we're especially in this election cycle right now, of the Republican Party. It is not until the convention, because the Speaker of the House is the one who's putting on the convention. It is not until the convention that the mantle is turned over to whoever the nominee is.
That's good information. I didn't know that.
Yep. And Paul Ryan has said that if Trump doesn't want him to come, he won't come to the convention.
But if he doesn't come, there's got to be something that, in the absence of the speaker, somebody else got to take over, right? So that'd just be symbolic. It's not like the person's not going to be able to become the leader. But and you look at the back to the factual and the seriousness of it. The Speaker of the House is the third most powerful person, arguably in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You get the president, and something happens to the president, then the power goes to the vice president. If something happens to that vice president, then the power goes to the Speaker of the House.
Mm-hmm.
So that Speaker of the House is the third most powerful person, definitely in the country, and arguably in the world.
Right.
So when he speaks, people listen.
Right.
And he did say he's not yet ready to get behind Donald Trump.
And I don't really see a problem with that. He didn't say I'm never going to support Donald Trump. He said I'm not ready. So maybe they need to have a conversation. Maybe he needs to figure out, what exactly Trump is for.
Aren't they supposed to be meeting?
Yes, they are. They're supposed to meet later on this week.
This Friday, I think it is. But Donald Trump came back and said, well, hey, I'm not necessarily ready to accept the stuff y'all saying either. I'm Donald J. Trump.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's coming off some momentum. And I was listening to some other radio shows today, and people were saying, hey, well, Paul Ryan might be in trouble with his job if he don't get on board with Donald Trump because of all the support that Donald Trump has. Now, I'm not going to say this has any validity, but Paul Ryan is up for re-election this year. So they're voting on him. His primary, or his general, is in August. His primary is in August. Mm-hmm. And he's running up against some other people that could take him out. So I wonder if he's going to be motivated in order to work with Trump in order to make sure he secures his job. When I was listening to that, I was thinking to myself, how important is it that you stand your ground on everything? Or how important is it that you stay elected to stay in the game?
I would think it'd be more important to stay in your ground.
But
what's the sense of staying elected if you're not?
I'm talking about everything. I guess that's a kind of balance. I guess as a human being, or maybe it's a gamble you take in life. Because if you stand your ground on everything and lose, then can you do any good from a losing position? No,
but if you maybe not, or maybe you work from a grassroots type thing.
Is that effective? If you go from speaker to the House to grassroots?
Yeah, but you got to sleep with I got to sleep at night. Okay. And if I'm going against what I believe because I'm trying to keep a job.
But how much do you go against? I mean, I guess, again, it's a balance. I guess what would you compromise with? Again, when you go to office, you're not going to be king or queen. You know that, so you're going to have to compromise. I guess you got to figure out how much are you willing to compromise with before you say, okay, I'm throwing in the towel. This job is not for me. I can't do it anymore. Okay.
And I guess it also depends on what you're compromising on.
Yeah.
I would think compromising on who's going to be the next president, who's going to have control over possibly the next Supreme Court justice, and all these other things. That's a huge thing to compromise on.
Yeah.
Especially if
that's your biggest issue, because again, if he loses the Speaker of the House sets the tempo for the bills that come through the House.
I get that.
And the House is the only place that tax bills can come through. The House takes care of the budgets and all those things. So if he's not in control of that because he didn't a Donald Trump issue, would it hurt more or would it hurt us less? That's the question. You know what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying.
Okay,
I don't like what you're saying.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to speak some truth into reality as you bring it in. If someone else becomes the Speaker of the House, what happens if they're not as conservative as he is? If he's really conservative, if they're not as conservative as he is, he's pretty conservative. What would happen to the bills that are not so conservative want to come through? Because he can shoot them down quickly. He can shoot. What happened to you guys? Y'all don't know this. When the Speaker sees these bills, he can send them through a whole lot of extra committees that they don't necessarily have to go through in order to give them a greater chance of failing. When you get a bill, somebody says, hey, I got an idea. They do the research, they have a bill, have it drafted, get them a number, send it, House, we're talking about House Bill 5. The speaker is supposed to send it to the committees that the bill deals with. They're going to have to go to appropriation to have to do any money. If it has to do with any kind of military stuff, it's got to go over there. It's got to do any kind of land issues, it's going to go over there. So whatever committee it has to go through, the speaker's going to send it there. But the speaker can send it through other places that may have barely touched it.
Right.
And hopefully it'll get shot down. So if you really want to get your bills passed, of course, the fewer people that have to touch it, the sooner it gets to the House floor, the sooner you can get a yay on it and get it over to the Senate and back on up to the president. So the Speaker of the House really has power when it comes to what is even going to be seen. That's why we look at, if you look at the Democrats, Republicans, whoever's in office, a lot of times they say, hey, these guys won't even take up our bills, because that's what the Speaker of the House can do, or the leader of the Senate. They both had that type of power. So I don't know, again, how much do you compromise when it comes to the big picture? I guess it depends on what your big picture is and who you're compromising with. And I guess that's something that Paul Ryan's going to figure out if he's going to sleep on. Because if Republicans are saying this about the Republican nominee, presumptive nominee, how can we expect other people, the Democrats and independents and all these other folks, to jump on board when the infighting is so strong? Is it possible that we're going to do it? Derek says he can get it done. Derek says he didn't go into detail. He didn't have any facts, or I should say, he have any strategies to share with us. I guess that's inside information. But he said it could get done.
But he also said that all those people that said things were all losers, they lost to Trump.
Yeah, because he said they all lost it. And I was like, well, Trump lost twice already. But he said these guys lost to Trump. But they still all lost.
Yeah. And the problem is they all have supporters.
Mm-hmm.
So you need these guys, especially if you are going to beat Hillary, possibly Bernie, especially if they do a combined ticket. And that's a whole nother story.
Hillary Bernie.
Yeah. You need these people. You need to unify the party, because you have a large portion of the Republican Party who is saying we're looking for a third party.
Mm-hmm.
So if you lose a portion of the Republican Party to the third party, your chances of winning are very minimal.
It's you might just hang it up.
You can hang it up.
Oh, what are we gonna do?
I don't know, what are you gonna do?
I said, what are we gonna do?
Oh, I say rise of the third party.
Rise of the third party?
Mm-hmm.
Again, you said that last time.
I did, and I'm still saying it.
All right, well, let's do this real quick, though. When we get to end, because I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna put you on the spot. You know, like that. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. But what else? Anything else you want to say?
No, that's pretty much it. I think that kind of shows some of my feelings.
Okay, you got it all off your chest.
Some of it. I mean, I could go on for a bit. Too much. It'll take too long.
All right. Now, when we spoke to Derek, he said if you want to get more information, you can go to DonaldTrump.com. Donald Trump for president. Just Google Donald Trump's website. I forgot exactly what else. It's probably DonaldTrump.com if I'm not mistaken. It would seem like he would buy all those sites out just in case somebody would want to type in and make sure they get to him. But you definitely need to go to Donald Trump stuff and look him up. Don't take our word for it. Don't take what we said that Derek said. Plus, you can definitely tune into the show and get that. Like us, subscribe to what we're doing. We're shooting videos. We're talking about these things because we want to get you guys going. And of course, you can always write back to us. What's our email address?
theinvitationinfo@gmail.com.
Say it one more time.
theinvitationinfo@gmail.com.
theinvitationinfo@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
You read that email?
Yeah.
Okay, you respond to it?
I do.
Good. I'm kind of slack on that.
And you are.
Okay, that's why. Teamwork makes the dream work. All right, so Kathy's going to get it probably, and she'll respond and tell me, hey, do this, that, and the other. But that's all right. Teamwork. As I was saying, third party. What third party would you? Is there a third party out there? No, you're talking about we need to create a third party.
We might need to create a third party, but we're gonna do some more research. And upcoming show is gonna be about a third party.
Uh-oh, you heard it. So would you have a name for it yet or anything?
No, not yet.
All right, but definitely be a third party.
Definitely.
So would you take the good? I guess you take the good from all the parties and make one.
Sure.
Okay. Do you think it's likely we'll have a third party in 2016 or anything after that, with the way the country has been so, I guess, so conditioned to think there's only going to be a Democrat or Republican to
But
win?
it's time to break out of that.
Okay, so
if you have two candidates base. I mean, we're just going to talk about the two leading candidates right now for the Republican and Democratic Party. Both have a very high unfavorable.
Yes.
I've never seen anything where there's the candidate from both parties has such a Well, they're both liars. Was I not supposed to say that? They're pathological. They're both pathological.
You can speak your mind. What both? There's three people that we're talking about.
Well, I said the two front leaders.
Oh, you're talking about Hillary and Trump?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. That's your opinion. Some people love them, though.
People love liars all the time.
You saying liars. That's a harsh word.
Okay. They don't always tell the truth.
They're liars.
Exactly. So I don't know what you want me to say.
You're trying to be
they're
PC
storytellers.
Okay, they're storytellers. Okay, that's what Kathy says, and we kind of proved that too.
We did.
All right.
But people can change. Maybe they'll change.
No, definitely people can change. I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
I'm not a person I used to be. I need to be. Tomorrow won't be the same dude today. I'm trying to get better every day. I got a long way to go. Yeah. That wasn't necessary.
Oh no, I mean I was.
You're supposed to be the straight face on that. Yeah, exactly. That's fine. That's fine. All right, so. Tune into the show again. It's on Mondays, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. And let's pull it up real quick so they can see that. Write this stuff down. Again, tell all your friends about it. We're on our screen every Monday. She's mad because I said the screen was going. You can see it on your face. The camera's on. Here's a number, 917-932-1078. 917-932-1078. That's Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll cover all the information you want to talk about, everything political and social, because everything is political, everything social. So there's no way we can't not talk about it. So I hope you had a great night. I hope you've enjoyed listening to us in this topic here. If you have any other questions or concerns or anything, again, check us out. Again, this is Let's Talk Politics with Fredrick Wilson. I am he, and my co-host here is
Kathy Taylor.
All right, you guys have a great night, and we will see you soon.